Hello, everyone. Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. How are we all today? Wherever you are in the world when you're watching, a huge shout out to you and thank you for your support of my channel. It's Sunday morning, coming into afternoon here now in Australia, and I have been wanting to do this reading now for a while. It's all in the timing at this time, and really staying in the moment, and not being dragged back to, past patterns. But I did want to examine the question of will the current, I find it difficult to say his name, I can't feel it, I find it difficult to even call him but you know who I mean. Will Sideshow Don, will he face justice? And because, there are all these reports that President-elect Biden is, desiring to move on from the Sideshow Don years, and that's great, and I do feel that we will. But there's also this question of justice. Will the universe bring in justice for Sideshow Don? Or will the US send a message to people like him coming perhaps in the future? That is the question that I want to look at, because it's very important globally as well for democracy that somebody who tramples, breaks the laws, is held to account. So I want to look at that, and also there has been some noise, and I can't confirm it, that Mitch McConnell is negotiating with Biden a non-prosecutorial agreement for Donald Trump in return for a peaceful transition from power. So these are heavy questions that I have decided to look at today in a Sideshow Don reading. I'm pleased to say that I don't do this all the time now. We're moving away from that era, but there are some fairly salient questions that need to be addressed before we're done with him in January, when President-elect Biden is inaugurated. But first, to the energies of the moment, I'm very heartened to see already a change in language in Australia around climate management. Is that enough, just a change in language? This is as a result of President-elect Biden signalling he's going back into the Paris Accord, and he has appointed a special envoy, John Kerry. Let's have a look. So, what is the energy? I'm using my Earth Magic cards. What is the energy of this time for us as we are now moving into this penumbral eclipse on the 30th of November, the solar eclipse on December the 14th, and the big transitions from the 17th of December onwards, particularly the 21st. What is the energy of this time, this moment that we sit in? So I have breach. Now that's interesting. This is when a whale breaches, they come up for air. They take a huge gasp of air, and it's something coming to the surface. So we have a lot that is or has or will come to the surface. And we have to. We have to absolutely consider what was buried and what was hidden. And we have the eagle, which is what I saw when I opened up for this reading. This is about freedom. This is about communion and freedom. Interesting, this person here, this earthly person, is speaking to the skies and speaking to that eagle. So I'm feeling a real indigenous kind of energy here. Breach and communion. What are we communing with? Clouds and shape-shifting. This is what I suspected. The energy at the moment is quite, it's muted in a way, because people have decided to switch off from a lot of where we were at prior to November. But things are changing, and we've got this shape-shifting energy. A shapeshifter is something that changes when we perhaps aren't looking or not focused on it or can't tell that there is a change. And so I feel this is what will become apparent as we move through December. Okay, let's take a look at the pertinent question around Sideshow Dawn, but I just want to pull on my Everyday Enchantment Tarot by Poppy Palin. Just a couple of cards to, we looked at the energy spiritually, the cards on the ground. There is just, it's diabolical still if you want to dive into that diabolical energy. Most of us are choosing not to. But yet we've got this shape-shifting going on, and possibly even a little bit of confusion as to why this is still being pushed, this myth, this fraudulent claim that somehow the elections were rigged. We're not quite sure of the truth there, which is why I decided to do this reading and see if Spirit will bring something forward. What is the truth, the current truth around why this perception is still altered, why this reality is still being ripped away and replaced with something else. What is this? What is this, please, Spirit? I know that's a kind of a difficult, complex question, but sometimes you need it. The Seven of Wands talks about self-defense. Very much when you have two sides and they're polarized, about as polarized as you can go, you're going to get this needing to stand one's ground, needing to defend oneself. So, in right-thinking people that perhaps wouldn't have gone down this unreal type of track, they're doing so because they are fearful. They are fearful that somehow their way of life will be jeopardized, that somehow their country will be handed over to the communists, that migrants or refugees or asylum seekers will break the borders, and they're fearful of what is before them. And why is that? Because there's been 4 years of stoking those fears. So this is something that we need to understand. But that shape-shifting energy shows that this is a process, and it is all about revealing something. We have the Lovers, okay, revealing, I think, how fractured things really are. And that is the card for Sideshow Dawn in my other tarot decks. And we are moving into this Gemini moon. There is this penumbral eclipse in Gemini on the 30th of November. There is a need to understand just how fractured things really are. And it's just going to take a lot of work. But the Lover's card, shape-shifting, it's encouraging energy. It's encouraging energy. Yeah, it's about Trump. And it's about what was before Trump. It's about the gaslighting of President Obama, the racism. It's about Trump wanting to hold on to the presidency. It's about him not wanting to lose, him staking a claim, not budging, not conceding. It's all of that. It's all of that, and it's all of this too. The Eight of Coins talks about money, a monetary trail, a monetary source. This is about the Republicans not wanting to give up that either, and so they will move to gaslight and join in ways that they know is blatantly wrong. This person is smiling. Normally that would be a happy smile, but there's something here about crafting something and enjoying that. And we've got emotions here, high emotions, and this is really around innocence too, and the loss of innocence. And it's around values and ideals. It's around all that we know. So why is the energy still stuck here? Because Sideshow Don is still there. So the Two of Wands talks about patience, talks about things improving, talks about freedom, talks about young people also, moving forward. This is a young person with the wand in his hand. And shape-shifting tells me that we don't kind of really see what's on the ground. We're only looking at these elderly people and this, generation and the lies that they're telling us and what they're taking away from us. But we're done with it. We really are. We've got the Ten of Wands that are pulling our hair out. We're done with this energy, and we have the Temperance card, which talks about balance and a healthier lifestyle, a healthier way of being. So takes me back to November the 3rd. That is the thing that matters, even though this energy is slightly confusing. As a result of the incumbent's lame duck period of time until January. All right, so let's take a look at the justice question with my Gilded Tarot Royale. Let's take a look at simple question: will Trump be brought to justice? Will Trump be brought to justice? Will Trump be brought to justice? It's like it is very confusing energy to hear the real message. Not for me, but across the world, and particularly in the US, what is the real message? What is the real focus? What is the real theme? We haven't kind of got there yet. Queen of Swords, okay, logic, the law. Logic, really switching off, I think, from that gaslighting and moving into that more, more reliable way of looking at things, looking at the evidence. But the Queen of Swords is also a attorney. It's also a female attorney. And I keep getting this every time I ask this question, will there be justice for Trump? And I know that somehow Vice President-elect Kamala Harris will make a difference. This could also be a female head of the DOJ, and this could also be the New York Attorney General. So we see somebody wielding the sword of truth. A female is not going to give up. Page of Pentacles challenging that. There is something around with this Page of Pentacles, the need to proceed cautiously, but the Page of Pentacles has always been my card for Trump's money trail. And so these are the signifier cards showing me that he will undergo financial scrutiny and potentially some kind of charge, indictment, criminal prosecution around his money. Okay, so that much Spirit is saying, yes, this is what could happen. Yeah, it is around the money here. And the Ace of Pentacles is also a soft new start. So there's a strategy and a plan about how they're going to pursue him. And they may be giving out messages at the moment to make him feel like he's off the hook, or to stop him from taking a wrecking ball to everything. They have a plan, and it will unfold in a way that he is not expecting either. In the past, we have the Four of Swords. So this is retreat, illness. It could be we find out that there was grounds for a 25th Amendment. That, we really, until he's out of office, we won't get that kind of certainty around, is justice going to occur? In the sky, there is an isolate. It's review and investigation, but it's also isolating him as well. So part of the strategy is to wear him down and allow him to become increasingly isolated. Let's see, to put the barriers up with this Nine of Wands and this is for him as well, wounded in battle. These are very significant cards, the Four of Swords and the Nine of Wands. So in the here and now, we've got the World. You could even have some, which is endings and beginnings. And of course, we do know that the Iranian scientist has been assassinated. World press is talking about Israel being responsible for that assassination. Obviously, that hasn't been confirmed. But we had Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who also will face retribution in some way for what has occurred with him. He was in Israel and Saudi Arabia, I think, in the last week or so. So the World card, this is also about allies. There could be something around allies assisting in some way with justice. Yeah. The World, endings and beginning, and the Chariot. So these two major arcanas, it's telling me that he will be brought to justice, and somehow that is being accomplished at the moment. But we have the Two of Wands in the hopes and fears, and this is asking for patience. It's a plan that comes to fruition in time, which would fit with this. We're not really being enlightened about, will he be brought to justice, won't he be? The Empress and Russia in the outcome position. So yes, this is a yes, and it has to do with Russia assisting him. That isn't going to stand. They're not going to stand for that. Ultimately, he will be called to account. I bring the laptop down. That's telling me straight out that he will be called to account for collusion in some way. His collusion with Russia, Russian interference in the election. This will be around, they will get him around his finances, and they will pursue the money trail. Look how bright that Sun card is. Yes, yes, yes. However, at the moment, they are not showing their hand. I feel that they have intelligence on him that they will bring forward at the appropriate time to bring him to justice. They are not letting him go. Now, we have obstacles and challenges and partisanship, which is where the energy is at the moment and why they are eluding the topic, perhaps sending out false information so that he lets down his guard. I have always felt that he will be brought to justice. I have always felt that when we know the truth, it will simply be gobsmacking. It's difficult though at the moment, and it is most definitely, and I'm going to say it's around money laundering that he will go down. That's where they want to go. Now, there are, I guess, the word on the street, unconfirmed type stories that Mitch McConnell is negotiating a non-prosecutorial agreement for Trump. So I'm pleased to see those cards. If you're confused about, please don't let him go without punishment or without justice. Please, he will, and they will get him through his finances. Those outcome cards were quite clear, and his connections with Russia. That's all to come, and I do feel that there could well be a female head of the DOJ, and I feel that Kamala Harris will work closely with that head, that new head of the DOJ. My money is probably on Sally Yates, but I haven't pulled cards on that. Let's have a look at Mitch McConnell and the Biden camp. We'll ask a direct question, and I'll see what I can get. So, I'm getting the judgment card here, an inevitable ending. Is Mitch McConnell negotiating a non-prosecutorial agreement for Donald Trump with Biden? Is Mitch McConnell talking with the Biden camp about not prosecuting Trump post-presidency in return for a peaceful transfer? Is Mitch McConnell talking with the Biden camp about not prosecuting Trump post-presidency? The Queen of Wands. So there is a plan here. She brings stability. She sees the unseen, and she is this fire energy, this inspirational energy. She carries with her the Ace of Wands, which of course is a new and inspired start. But most of all, she brings forward a plan. Let's have a look. What challenges? Yeah, the Six of Pentacles, loans and debt. Loans and debt. To me, the Queen of Wands always has represented the Democratic Party, challenged by giving and receiving help. I won't help you unless you look at this plan. Could be. Let's see what the other cards are saying. The Knight of Wands coming forward with the truth, and it is a harsh truth. This is going into battle. Someone only releases their knights when they're fighting for something. And we have that eagle, which has come up at the beginning of this reading in the sky. In the past, we've got the abuse of power, which is quite clear, always comes up anytime I read on these people. So we have secrets here, something coming to the surface. That's what's crowning this reading, the High Priestess. It is a plan that can be brought forward, but it's in return for keeping secrets. Oh dear. Okay. In the immediate future, we have the Sun card, full illumination, secrets coming to the surface. Yep, we've got justice, but that doesn't mean that they're talking about this. I'm not clear on that yet. No, in the here and now, it's saying that in time there will be justice. He will be brought to justice. Because there's far too much illumination of his lawlessness to let this go. In the hopes and fears, the hope, the fear, we have the Two of Cups coming to some kind of partnership agreement, can be contracts between two people. Let him go free. We have the Nine of Pentacles. So that's a yes card, and yes, there could be some kind of talks going on now between lawyers around a new start here. Okay, the base of the pack, we've got the loss, and we have the Knight of Pentacles. This could be around his dealings in the world, and here's our Ace of Wands that the Queen is carrying. There could be talks. There could be talks about in some way him keeping his fortune, or there could be that. but I don't feel it's going to be done. Why don't I feel it's going to be done? Because I do get justice will occur in time. And so if they're talking about a deal, it's not going to be done. There might be some negotiations with that King of Swords between lawyers about certain things, but Trump will ultimately be brought to justice. That much I know. Is Trump blackmailing with his actions right now? We know therefore his masters for Russia and his Saudi Arabia, Israel, to benefit all of that, to make it difficult for Biden to come in and have a smooth transition. I'm just feeling revelations. Okay, so there's coming huge revelations around him, around Sideshow Don, regardless. Huge revelations. Now, Cy Vance, it's like we're waiting. Cy Vance's subpoena in the Supreme Court. It's like everybody is just waiting for this to be over before they step forward. But I feel that there's going to be some sort of revelation to the media coming out, which will put everybody back in there. The Republicans and Sideshow Don. It's like clear evidence will be given to the media, that sort of thing. Let's have a look. Okay, they're just sort of hands off now to keep things calm, but there are revelations coming. Timely revelations coming. So is Trump blackmailing under the threat of causing God knows what? Is Trump blackmailing the Biden administration for some kind of get out of jail free card? Is Trump blackmailing Biden administration? Eight of Pentacles, yeah. The Eight of Pentacles is it's the work, it's the money. What is that around? Let's see what's challenging. Yeah. He wants them to leave. He wants them to somehow get New York to leave him alone. That's where he wants. That's what he wants. To stop this investigation of where he got his money. Financial scrutiny. He's trying to stop that. He feels that is what's challenging him. Let's have a look. Yeah. Manifestation, dirty tricks, manipulation. And you've got to remember that the GOP are complicit in all of this. So this is in the past position. This crossroads card, this plan that comes to fruition in time. He is highly anxious about financial scrutiny and prison time. That's what he's worried about. The Eight of Cups, loss, walking away. This is in the near future. So I feel that he's not going to be successful. She keeps turning up. And I think that he will face justice at the federal level as well as the state. There is a manifestation here. I'm going to pull a clarifier on that. Right now we have the hope, the healing card. Here's my judgment card that came up that I saw. So we've got an inevitable ending here. Healing and an inevitable ending is occurring at the moment. Sometimes we've just got to throw it over to the universe. So yes, he is. He wants victory. He wants victory over this plan to prosecute him post-presidency in the courts. He's also looking still to his Supreme Court pick. We'll call her Amy, for help. He's still looking for the Supreme Court for a victory. But here we go. His defeat is utter. We do have the Chariot. Defeat coming forward very, very quickly. Things are shifting and will continue to shift. He is stoking the flames of partisanship. He wants to avoid prison, and he's ultimately his complete and utter downfall. So, we have the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands reoccurring throughout all of these readings, that particularly that Queen of Swords indicates that a female will be responsible for pursuing him and ensuring that justice is done. All right, I'm going to ask one final question. What is, given the energies are, quite uncertain at the moment, the Electoral College is still to vote on December the 14th, what is it, and that will be fine, I've read on that in the past, he is wanting to take it all the way to the Supreme Court. He thinks someone's going to help him, but they won't. What is the thing that we need, given all this shape-shifting energy? What is the thing that we need to know? What is the thing that we need to know as children of the earth, as children of the universe? What is the thing that we need to know? I should say as adults, really. Adults of the universe. What is the most salient thing that we need to know? So I'm getting Sphinx-like energy and the Sun card. So we've got the Empress. We need to know that Russia's interference in America's affairs will not will be punished. They won't go unpunished. We need also to turn our thoughts to this rebirth. It's very important at this time. And we know the Knight here, the truth, the eagle again. Truth will come out. And we have the King of Wands. Yeah, there's bold leadership here somewhere that is going to, the courts are not going to let him go. He will be prosecuted. And that's what we need to be brave and step forward courageously in the face of obstacles. Yeah, so Russia will be stopped. There's going to be significant legislation, reform, truth. This is where it's all heading. The Ace of Pentacles. In order to get this new start, Russia needs to be brought to justice. The King of Wands, strength here, the strength of the courts, the strength of justice, and we've got the Ace of Pentacles. This is a review of where all of this partisanship, gaslighting has got. So there's really high minds on this. There's really clever people. The strength here, you don't need to doubt it. We've got two queens coming forward. The Queen of Pentacles, security, and here she is, the Queen of Wands, coming forward with a plan very, very quickly, because the Tower moment has already occurred and there has been loss. Now, there is this manifestation energy coming, and it is around the Pentacles, the security of the economy, of the nation. It's like the US is bigger than Trump. Much, much bigger. It's like the world is much, much bigger than Trump. They might be going carefully at the moment, but watch it. The gloves will come off at the right time, and he will be brought to justice, and importantly, Russia will be brought to justice as well. And a woman is going to figure very, very prominently in accomplishing those goals. Thank you so much for tuning in.